Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy G and Invasion,
This is Power Trick.
and today's gonna be a wonderful topic. Something that
Something that we both watched together. I'm like, I wish we could have done it the day of, but it is what it is.
yeah, and that is the Sony State of Play.
Yep.
And we wrote down the whole list of games and things that we were actually curious and interested in. There are some that we actually missed, but not very many. I think 2 at the most. One was a VR game and the other one was an indie game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
The first.
I have it in order. So do you want to just go down the list?
Yeah, we'll go down. The first game we had this, ladies and gentlemen. This game is not only a classic. This game won Game of the Year years ago. Originally came onto the GameCube, and then it went to the PlayStation 2, and then later it became Game of the Year due to the fact that it was released late. But that's just me.
Yep.
That's how the way it goes. It's one of the greatest horror games of all time, Resident Evil 4.
Yes. Remake. Well, at least we think that it's going to be a remake, unless they actually add some more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We really won't know. But I can't lie. While I am a Capcom fanboy when it comes down to stuff, I am not a fan of remakes.
Yeah, you said it before. You're not a fan of remakes, but this
Well, no, actually, is it a remake or a remaster?
remake is a full. I even looked at how it looks. It's fully remaked.
Okay,
Fully
so, well, you know what? I can't say I'm not a fan of remakes. I'm not a fan of remasters, because when I look at Final Fantasy VII from its original to the remake is a completely different game. I mean, technically, the storyline is the same by like about 80 or 85%, and they've already changed that up. So you might as well say it's its own game. So, remake, I'm pretty good with it. But if this was going to be a straight, hey, we just HD texturized and added Blu-ray quality, like, then I would have been like, why?
That definitely not it, because I even looked at the characters. I'm like, some of the characters that they looked. Even I saw some of the bosses. Like there was one boss that I remember that like his beard was like short, and then now he's like freaking huge, and I'm just like, oh shit, oh shoot. Ashley looked completely different than in the original, so it's like I said, okay, this is a fully fledged remake. So it's like, yep.
Now I do understand the whole point of. Well, I understand the point of remasters. If remakes are pretty much just different games. Even though it's RE4, they're changing a bunch of stuff about it. It's pretty much a different game. But I do understand the whole point of remasters. People from earlier time that didn't get a chance to play some of these great games now get to play it in high-res quality, way better quality. So trust me, I understand. But at the same time, you are pulling on the nostalgia strings for other people. They did it with, they've been doing it with Mario's. They've been doing it, they did it with the Crash Bandicoots and everything else. So I understand. It's just, just make something new. But which they are.
Yeah, they are.
So but let's just go straight into the next one. Now this next one was actually very interesting because they showcased a lot of VR. A lot of VR. Now one of them though is Resident Evil Village VR, and it looks way better than before. I mean, you get to look at something literally from a first-person view. It showed that you can touch and do all type of different things. I can't lie. I mean, I've only did VR once, and it was a trippy situation. But how do you feel about that?
I like it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like going to VR. I'm like, I'm not really surprised that they go into VR, because after all, Resident Evil 7 was originally on VR, and so I'm like, I'm not really surprised they go on that route. So it's like, I'm but kind of surprised. Speaking of Resident Evil 4, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna do the remake, but that would give Resident Evil 9 basically a little time to, because they already say Resident Evil 9 is in development at the same time as Resident Evil 4, so it's like they kind of like, it's kind of time different, but which is I'm gonna see.
But it's kind of interesting though. It depends on how many developers Capcom has gone towards the newer game and the resources, because Capcom has a really good habit of making all their RE games high fidelity. And they came up with their own engine or system, which we're going to get to in a second, because it's already been implemented into another game we're going to get to down the line. But so we'll see how much resource that comes in, because they might, even though they're both in development, if RE4 comes out first and they didn't punch a bunch of resources into that, the marketing or the business aspect might be, hey, let's make our money on this, and whatever extra we have is going to get poured into the next game, since it's going to be coming down later down the line. Another VR game that came out is called The Walking Dead Saint and Sinners Chapter 2, and it's a VR game.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah. Then we have the Horizon Zero Dawn VR Call of the Mountain. Really?
No, the reason why...
You wouldn't want to play as Aloy in first person?
Nah, because I'll pass. If they say it's for the second one, then that'll be one. But I'm like,
That's interesting, because I've been hearing nothing but weird negativity on the second. But okay.
Yeah, the second wasn't as good as the first, but
it was still good.
It was still good.
Okay. So, and speaking of which, apparently Horizon Forbidden West has an update that's coming to it. So more story, weapons, gear, who knows, right? But let's see if it actually gets past one DLC, because the first one only had one DLC. Yeah. Another one, and I want, and here's where we go with what you would call it, Spider-Man Remastered. Mm-hmm. You already have now question, because you would know this better. Is this made by the people that made the last Spider-Mans?
Dang.
Because this is an old one being remastered, right? Or is this
it's the one that was on the PlayStation 4 originally being remastered. But I feel like there shouldn't be no need.
It's too soon.
Yes, one is too soon. Two they already kind of did a second one on that, and 3, Spider-Man 2 with the crossover with Venom that's gonna be. I'm like, it's a bit too soon for that. I'm like, they kind of, it's basically a cash grab, my opinion. But it's like if they waited like a few more years down the road,
I can't lie. I think
story.
In order to remaster a game, you need to wait at least like 10 years.
Yeah, way
or longer.
Or longer.
Because you said it was originally on the PS4, like when PS4 first came out, and PS4 PS4 is still active, so it's been out for a long time.
And it was, and the fact that it was also a Game of the Year nominee, which I also said this should be a Game of the Year nominee, and I'm like, it feels like it's too soon. I'm like, too soon. Yeah. Like, if it was like a different engine, like later on down the road, and they said, oh, this is gonna be like that, then that would be totally different. But like right now,
like on a Unity 9 or Unity 10 or unrealistic,
unrealistic 20 or something like that. Or
wait, what is it on now?
I think it's on I thought it was on unrealistic 4 or 5 or something like that.
Damn, but 20?
No, imagine they do like unrealistic. They say unrealistic 20 or something like that. They make something so freaking holographic or something like that.
I mean, by that time we probably will have holographic technology. I mean, we already got concerts with it. Yeah, but okay, so the next one is one that I'm actually interested in, and I've actually told one of my homegirls about this. Mm-hmm. Stray. This game actually looks interesting.
I gotta see it.
The one about it's the cat that's walking and has that cell phone on his back.
Oh, I know that. That's what
I
was like, huh? I'm like. That's what I said. I'm curious. I'm curious.
Like the interactions, like some people were like running away from it, or some of the NPCs, and then others were talking to it. Like it looked like you can level up and get different skills and everything else. It's obviously an action adventure game. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering though, is it sandbox or is it like a telegraph trajectory? Like there's only so many places you can go, because a lot more games are starting to become somewhat free roam or open world. But I'm wondering if this one is just like, oh, well, you have to go this way to do this or stuff like that. And there's no way to get back down because it's going to go through the cinematic effect and it's going to change you to a different location type of thing through story or whatever. But I'm definitely curious for Stray. I'm definitely curious. That's one on my list, I guess you could say. We have Striking Distance Studios, The Callisto Protocol.
That I'm like,
That's the one that was kind of like abstract. It was like this I think you play as like a young black girl. She was like riding her bike, going to different places and everything else.
yeah, that game. I'm just like, I said, I need to see more. I need to see more of it.
More?
Yeah, I just need to see more of it.
Okay. Roller Drome. This is cheese.
Yeah, that's
So guys, for anybody that missed Roller Drome, of course you can always look up the trailer, but it's literally like roller derby style. What was that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was it Rollerball? What was the name of it?
You said Rollerball. You said with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it was that one where it's like they got captured, put into like this dome, and they had to like fight to the death almost.
Almost.
It's an old movie.
Oh, how about that? It's not Escape Plan. It's something else.
No, it's old, but it reminds me of that because literally it's like you're on roller skates, and there is actually an old movie where it's like roller skates and there's like death or whatever else. I can't remember the name of it though, but you literally, it's like almost like a rolling rink or like an obstacle course. You have rollerblades on, and you're shooting people, and you have pistols, Uzis, sniper rifles. Some people had like melee weapons. You seen somebody? It looked like they mixed Tony Hawk with like Twisted Metal just on roller skates. Like you see him fly up, go through the glass, hit this coin, come back down, pop somebody in the head, and keep rolling off or whatever else. And it's literally like it is like a deathmatch type of thing though. So, but I don't know, the graphics actually had me laughing because it reminded me of No More Heroes. Just less cell shaded. Well, probably more cell shaded, I guess. Now, here's one that I am curious about, and it's going to be coming out next year, Intern Knights. And it was the only anime style game there. The one with the guy's arm that came off and it turned into like a blade or could turn into a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that one.
That one kind of got me hyped. Because it gave me like Code Vein vibes.
I still want more of it.
I mean, it's state of play.
I just want...
Okay, so... Remember, guys, when we was talking about the RE, how Capcom is making their own engine or whatever else? So, through the RE engine, Capcom showed off finally more info on Street Fighter 6. And I can't lie, it was a lot. I was hyped, but I was curious at the same time because it seemed like they added so much stuff to it. Like they added a world tour mode, and that's indicative of the Street Fighter Alpha series, specifically Street Fighter Alpha 3. It seems like they're focusing on a single player aspect, but they did say they still have the versus aspect to it where you can do offline or online, which is pretty interesting. So now they're actually bringing single player mode to a fighting game. The characters look very good, a lot more realistic. The colors actually pop with the special effects.
They look older too, which I'm hoping this takes place after Third Strike, which I'm hoping.
Because of this time, you could tell Ryu's older, so there's definitely an older timeline. But if I'm correct, Street Fighter V is before Alpha.
No, it's after Alpha.
It's Alpha.
Yeah, it's after 4.
But that means that it's before Third Strike then.
Yeah, it's before, yeah. Because Ken's kid wasn't born yet. Well, Ken's kid was born in Street Fighter V.
Yeah, and I can't lie, I've already seen some of the leaks and everything else. Cammy looks good. Cammy looks like she didn't age. But Ken looks homeless.
Who?
Ken.
I didn't see Ken.
That was a leak.
I didn't see Ken.
That was a leak. You know what I'm saying? But Ken looks homeless.
I didn't see Ken.
But as far as characters that was there, Jamie, who looks like okay, so Jamie and Luke was one of the newest additions to the Street Fighter universe from Street Fighter V. But Jamie and Luke look like they fight at the same gym, because that's not a dojo. But Jamie's outfit looks like he might roll with Yun and Yang, but at the same time he has this b-boy style of fighting, because he did a few moves that reminded me of Skate from Final Fight, which is kind of, no, I'm sorry, not Final Fight, Streets of Rage. But it's kind of funny because if I'm correct, Streets of Rage and Final Fight are kind of in the same universe, and technically Final Fight is in the same universe as Street Fighter, so it could be that they're all connected. Had a lot of cameo appearances that I thought was actually very interesting. Chun-Li and the Cakes, but she looks much older, but apparently Chun-Li runs an orphanage as part of her lore, and one of the kids, the girls that she was fighting in it, apparently is one of the kids from the orphanage. That's because a few people was just like, oh, is that Sakura? And that's not.
No, it's not.
Luke looks like he plays the same, but I didn't see him throwing any projectiles. He looks like he was much more of a close range fighter, which is interesting because in Street Fighter V, that man's projectiles were deadly. But Ryu, they showed off the new Shin Shoryuken.
Yep.
And oh, that's probably one of the biggest things. Just how beautiful the cinematics of the supers.
Yeah.
They only showed 3. Well, I'm wondering if they have more than one, because Chun-Li and Ryu showed off cinematic supers. Jamie showed off a b-boy super. It wasn't a cinematic.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're going to be doing more now. I wonder if they're going back to Street Fighter 4 where you get one super, like a standard one, and then you get a cinematic one.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like it's based off of like certain meter? I haven't looked so much into it. I do know that they have a website now, and they break down all the system mechanics and everything. Like apparently the new system for this is called the drive system. So, you know, that's definitely one that's that I'm going to be curious and looking into. So one of the 2 indie games, because I was only able to get one, was Tunic. Tunic looked interesting, but I'm going to pull one out of your handbook. I need to see more.
Yeah, but same thing. I mean, it's...
All right, now they had one called Play Season. I really didn't pay attention to this one. Did you?
I didn't really pay attention to it either.
All right. Well, you know what?
We're gonna throw this off.
So we're gonna throw this off to the last one. The only one that really mattered. Well, no, Street Fighter 6 mattered. And the REs mattered.
Yeah.
But we're gonna pass the GOAT one that happened. Final Fantasy 16.
Yep.
Oh my God! Like, the game looks beautiful. The score was wonderful. But the thing that made me curious is that I've been playing Strangers of Paradise. And it feels like it's part of that universe. I don't know. Have you played Strangers of Paradise?
I haven't played it, but I know.
Like, I was looking at characters and I was just like, oh my God. But what got me hyped is they had my summon waifu, and they're called summons now again.
Yeah, but thank God.
They had it. They showed Ifrit, Leviathan, Shiva, and Bahamut. I know that, but did they show anybody else?
Did they show Odin? I gotta look it up.
I don't know if they showed Odin, Rama, or Titan, because I know Titan has been a popular one in a lot of them. But that one I'm hyped for.
But the ones that we've been seeing are Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut. Like those are like those big time ones. But I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta
Square
remember.
Enix is going to be taking my money.
Yeah, everybody's money.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be exclusive too. Is it gonna be exclusive though?
See, that's the thing that I'm gonna hate. No. I think they said it was P4, P5.
But it's not gonna be on the Xbox.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
I would hate if they did like a Final Fantasy Integrate and it's only P5. I would be upset about that.
Yeah, I'll be mad because nobody really has a P5 right now, and they're hard and they're freaking hard to get.
Yeah. So, and the only one that you can get, if anything, which is the one that most people don't want, is the discless version. I want the one with the hard drive.
Me too.
Yeah. So. But I will say this: there's a few that I'm surprised that they didn't show. as far as at the state of play. One of them is Forspoken, because I remember when that was shown like 2 years ago, and everybody was like, "Is this the new Final Fantasy?" And it's not. Female and protagonist, deals with magic and everything, beautifully done and everything else. I'm surprised they didn't actually do anything when it came down to that. The one that put me to tears, which is the continuation to the Valkyrie Profile series, which is Valkyrie Elysium. Even though those two games are coming out this year, I'm surprised that they didn't actually show it, because they're later on down the line. I think it's either one's August and October, or one's October and September. I can't remember.
I'm also surprised they didn't show God Dad of War 2.
I'm not surprised.
Really?
They keep things close to their chest, and normally when they make reveals, it's normally a grandiose reveal. Plus, I've been keeping up with their Twitter.
Alright, I don't have Twitter, so it's not that.
But let's see. One other one, they introduced one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Exoprimal or something like that. It's like a mixture between Earth Defense Force meets Dino Crisis meets Anthem. Yeah, it's like you're like in this small Iron Man, you're like in this small exosuit. You put on this Iron Man suit, and you're able to switch exosuits on the fly, and you're just mowing down dinosaurs that come out of these weird portals and everything else. You don't remember seeing that one? It was in like an old, it was in an old one, but apparently, like at the very end of it, it showed like it's a possible cameo or something of like a popular franchise IP. I'm surprised that they didn't do that.
And I haven't seen that one. I'm kind of surprised.
Oh, I'm gonna have to show you that. I guarantee you, when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that one."
Yeah, I gotta take a look at it. But yeah, it's surprising they didn't show Dad of War. Surprising they didn't show any. The Square Enix was a damn surprise for me. I'm like, there was another game that they didn't really. I'm surprised they didn't really put it out there. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, we'll get back. When I think about it, we'll get back to it. But
all right. But you want to talk about an anticipating game that we're both gonna be getting to play soon?
Which one?
So you said there's one for you coming out Friday.
Oh, Super Mario. Oh yeah, that I'm gonna review in the future. Super Mario Strikers.
Yeah. And for me, it's gonna be DNF Duel, the Dungeon Fighters online fighting game. That's gonna be coming out, if I'm correct, June 28th. So towards the end of the month. So, but guys, this is our state of play conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Definitely let us know what you think about it, and always put it in the comment box down below.
And don't forget, stay safe, and also stay tuned, because I believe that Microsoft is doing the conference as well.
I haven't seen the notification.
I believe I'm gonna look it up later, but I believe Microsoft is doing one as well. Nothing from Nintendo yet, because even though they released Pokemon, which got everybody got so much meme energy. One's a waifu and one's a husbando, like everybody going crazy. Also, it's like we're gonna stay tuned for basically what Microsoft is gonna do, which I believe they did confirm that they said they're gonna do something.
And I'm hyped to see what exclusives they actually do, though.
Yeah, I'm a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a look at it right now.
Yeah. But guys, while he's actually doing that, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, so that this way you can always get that nerdy action that we do. And everybody stay safe, guys. Peace.
Yep. And well, before we exit off, it actually it says Xbox Game Pass, but set the showcase start time. I'm gonna look at the start time.
The fact that they said Bethesda, are they still in the clear from all the things that's going on with them?
That's a good question.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna repeat it again. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If anything, we'll put out a notification on our YT about when this is supposed to be coming up. I'm sure y'all will know before we do, because normally when things you like go live, or if they have like a premiere date, they normally tell you to notify you anyway. So we're definitely going to be covering that. Again, I'm definitely interested in the exclusives for Microsoft. And the fact that they said Microsoft Bethesda, I'm actually curious about that.
How it's supposed to feel.